New playable races confirmed in the World Soul Saga. What's next? I swear to God, Doran, you are the truth teller. If you are clickbaiting the shit out of me with this freaking video right now, I'm going to be physically and mentally upset. Vrykul and Naga, let's see what kind of evidence Doran has for these races now becoming playable, or something else. Let's find out.
So literally not even clickbait whatsoever. One of the lead Blizzard developers recently did a post-BlizzCon interview talking about the races they plan to introduce in the next 3 expansions, and they already have some concepts ready. We have, of course, the Nerubians mysteriously getting a humanoid form all of a sudden. That could perfectly be a setup for them being playable. We know the Elven tribes are reuniting in Midnight, and we know the Naga will be returning soon, and they are literally elves. With the new human lore, we have the possibility of reigniting the Vrykul as we go to Northrend, along with a few other highly requested races. So what is all this new information? What will be the new playable, new allied races that will be coming in the World Soul Saga? Because they will be coming. As 10.2 is out now, there is no better way to prepare for WoW than with u.gg. This is a super straightforward website where you can find the best performing builds for your class, not just for Mythic Plus, but also for PvP. Best of all, you can find tier lists of all the best performing classes, from DPS to healers to tanks, to see what is really working well and what isn't working so well. Most importantly, all of the information is based on hard data from the best WoW players. For example, as I play a Fury Warrior and have done so for over a decade, I can find the most well-performing build, the most optimal gear, best in slot, enchants, gems, trinkets, all with a single click of a button and a super straightforward and easy to use UI. So make sure to click the link in the description, check out u.gg, and optimize your performance for 10.2 completely free. So I've made a couple dozen of these videos on upcoming races, allied races, classes, and
very
such,
speculative.
But finally we are in the territory where it is actually happening, and I think this right now is the perfect stage to actually start.
I honestly thought we were getting Tuskar this expansion. With the new Tuskar and the amount of detail, and look at their tusks. I mean, you can there's customization in their tusks. I really thought this was the expansion that we were going to see playable Tuskar. I was wrong.
The perfect stage to
at least so far. Maybe they surprise us.
Early enough in development that they can actually make alterations based on what is popular and requested. We have seen Blizzard being incredibly open to changing the new hero talents based on community feedback, so I'm almost certain they might be open to switching playable races if the opinions are common enough. Now, let's be 100% real. I mean, not many people are too excited about the new Earthen allied race. Personally, I don't hate it. I'm completely kind of neutral to it.
Here's the thing. I play Alliance, so this isn't that big of a... The girl with the beard, this is...
But I feel like there could be...
I wasn't too excited about them because I play Alliance. I feel like these dwarves are a bigger deal for the Horde. That's the honest truth. I just feel like it's a bigger deal for the Horde because they are getting dwarves, and they've never had dwarves. So that's awesome for them. You could be a Horde dwarf now. But other than that, for the Alliance, what is this? This is like just a reskin. Which is what allied races usually are, but it's like, honestly, it's just a reskin.
You're excited about the new Earthen allied race. Personally, I don't hate it. I'm completely kind of neutral to it, but I feel like there could have been about a dozen more better-fitting races than the Earthen that would make people a lot more excited about what is to come. Like, maybe the Earthen were popular as a new race back in Wrath, but since then, I mean, so much has changed.
True. Maybe there would have been more hype during Wrath.
The biggest problem is just how they aren't really all that unique. I mean, these guys are literally just regular Earthen that are like...
You know what else I wonder? Blizzard is the kings of clipping. Are these gems all just going to clip through your armor? I bet you they are. And if that's the case, the color is going to clash with any kind of set you want to put together. But yeah, so far, I mean, some of these stick out really far. Look at how far that one sticks out of her shin. I bet you they're just going to clip through the armor. Classic Blizzard.
They're literally just regular
making a clipping race.
Like a quarter taller than the dwarves. They got a few crystals here and there, a few new customizations, but they could very easily
I guess not. I mean, it's covered up here, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this shit won't. But then what's the point of it all? What's the point of having all these customizations? It's just covered up. I don't know.
Passed off as a new dwarf customization. We don't really need a new race. I mean, literally, if you look at these guys when they're in full armor, I mean, you can't even distinguish them from the dwarves. You
that's what I'm saying. Well, what's the point? Everything that's customizable about them, at the end of the day, when you put on armor, they're just going to look like a dwarf. Imagine a helm that covers the face. Honestly, you would never know that it's not a dwarf. Just a regular dwarf.
In the case of humans and the Cultirans, for example, I mean, they're the same race, but the difference was
yeah,
very obvious.
They're very
the difference was massive. It really was a new race. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, they aren't bad, but as a race that was isolated for like 20,000+ years in a completely different environment, I honestly feel like they should have evolved like so much differently than the regular dwarves. I would personally have loved if they looked more like ogres or something that we haven't actually seen before. Ultimately, though, I don't really think this should have been their go-to announcement race. I mean, barely anyone is excited. I mean, just check out the official poll after BlizzCon, like how people voted. I feel like they should have just added them in a later patch and give us someone like more marketing worthy that would bring more people to the game, that would make people more excited about the next expansion. But that brings us to the current information, because more exciting things could actually be coming. Of course, it is no secret that they have laid out the next 3 expansions. They have confirmed that in the interview, and they have essentially built multiple teams to work on multiple projects at once. So they got a live team that is working on the new 3 patches that will be coming in Dragonflight. They will bring the more minor updates that will be coming. They got a full team working on the War Within. They got a full team working on Midnight, and they even have an outline for the Last Titan, so there could be some progress on the 3rd expansion as well. However, most importantly, one of the lead guys in the post-BlizzCon interview said that as they have outlined development so much, they already know what settings are coming in the next 3 expansions, what they want to do, and what races they're going to introduce.
I mean, he might not be lying. I mean, well, he's not lying here, because they did say this in an interview. At least that's what he's saying. Dorn the truth teller. But it's definitely possible that they are already working on them, because Blizzard said now they're split out into 3 teams. So they have the War Within team that's currently working on the next expansion. They have the Midnight team that is working on the Midnight expansion already, as if it's coming out tomorrow. What is up? Thank you for the 69 bits, Karen. Never. And they have a team that's working on current WoW for the patch structure. So they split out into 3 teams. It's possible that they're already working on the next set of races, if there's going to be ones in Midnight. I don't think we're going to get more in the War Within. I think we're getting those dwarfy boys, and that's about it. But who knows? In Midnight, yeah, maybe we finally get some playable Vrykul or Naga. The Naga, I think, will definitely be involved. This is probably the expansion where we get the return of Azshara. So who knows? Maybe that's the one we get the Vrykul or
Midnight
the Naga.
And the Last Titan, and potentially the War Within by the end as well. This is pretty much the official confirmation that we will be getting at the very least 1, but very likely 2-3 new playable races within this whole new World Soul Saga. Now, in another interview, when asked about the allied races, they said that they love this concept of allied races. They want to see this system continue, and when it feels right, they will eventually implement them. So it is 100% possible that this means that we're getting more than just a few, very likely 1 to 2 actually like fully legit new playable races, and potentially on top of that, multiple allied races are going to be coming in the World Soul Saga. However, the real question is, what are they going to be? Luckily, we're not just speculating in the dark. We know where we are going, sort of what we are doing, so we can half guess with some precision what races are going to be relevant and what could be.
Yeah, I think Midnight will be Azshara's return.
With the next expansion that we know the most about, the War Within. In my opinion, I feel like the Nerubians being playable is a really big possibility. The reason I say this is because, first of all, they're pretty popular. They have been in the game since Warcraft 3. We played with the Nubarak. They were a significant part of Rat when WoW was popular, and we have actually worked together with them in the past. However, that is only the background, the framework. The main reason is the fact that they have decided to introduce a new
Sam's OnlyFans to watch TH.
What?
With them, and they have foreshadowed some things that will be happening with the storyline. Literally, they could have just included the Nerubians in their original spider form, but they decided to come up with a brand new concept of the lore, new concepts for
we haven't seen what these look like in game yet.
Which can 100% be playable. Really, there was no need to make them humanoid if they were just an enemy race, so it is very likely that they're setting something.
I don't know why it got cut off that quick.
They told us that their queen has allied with Xal'atath, which gave them these forms, but also a portion of the Nerubians have not actually been fully on board with this, meaning we could be allying with a certain Nerubian faction. Of course, too early to say how the storyline is going to be play out, but let's just say it is very likely we could get a significant Nerubian involvement in this expansion that could lead us to picking them up as a new race by the end of the expansion, much like how we could gotten the Vulpira back in the day. Now, next on the line, we of course always got the Ogres, the most popular concept since Classic. As I said in the previous video, we learned that originally Ogres were playable in Classic. They were replaced last minute with the Trolls that weren't even meant to be playable.
The Ogres were supposed to be a playable race.
Ogre female model, so they just decided...
The Ogres, we did a whole video about this. The Ogres were the original playable race, and Trolls were like a last-second throw-in. So that's why they were played. It's very sad that they did that, but that is the truth. That is not just speculation.
Now, I don't necessarily
Confirmed
see
by
how
Blizzard.
this is going to play out with the upcoming expansion concepts, but we are on Azeroth, Ogres are on Azeroth, they're a part of the Horde, so we literally only need one patch that could include them, a new tribe, a new storyline that could get them to be
beautiful.
However, let us talk about the evidence that we actually have. So we have WoW Midnight, and we sort of know what is going on, and here we very likely have 2-3 new races that could be coming in the second expansion of the World Soul Saga. Midnight is going to be based in revamped Quotalas. They told us Quotalas will be bigger, new Silver Moon is coming, and most importantly,
the Silver Moon revamp. I'm so damn excited for that. You'll finally be able to fly in Silver Moon. It's never happened. Never happened. And this is like one of the nicest in-game assets they have. And it's literally just a fucking ghost town that you can't even fly in. So I'm very excited for this revamp.
All the Elven tribes are uniting. Now, this was a super vague statement, but it could mean either all the elves just join one faction, we get a new variation of elves, or we get the Naga. Personally, I don't really feel like we need yet another new variation of elves, but Ashara is essentially confirmed to be coming soon.
New variation of elves. If we're gonna get it, probably would be in the Midnight expansion, because that was described by Blizzard themselves as the elf expansion. Like, the uniting of the elves is going to happen in the Midnight expansion. So this is actually making more and more sense that if we were going to get another elven race, which the Naga technically are, it would be in the Midnight expansion. And Azara's coming back in that expansion. I already said that. Right, King Julian?
In this entire storyline, very likely in the War Within, and we could be seeing heavy Naga involvement in the expansion that is to come. The prophecy document from Dragonfight that ended up being 100% true, that talked about Zealotet, was essentially a document that said that Ashara will return. That was really the main point of it, as it was a Naga document, and when this process outlined in the document is complete, she will come, and all that was said is being completed at the start of the War Within, so it is very likely she could be coming soon. Now, remember, the Naga are literally just old god-infused elves that had to accept this, as they had no other choice in the past. The old gods are gone. Things have changed quite a bit since the Sundering. It could be possible that as the Void is invading Quotalas, some Naga may get flashbacks on when their home was destroyed in the alien invasion, and they could switch sides. After all, the Naga are a very popular race concept. It is a race we played back in Warcraft 3, like we literally had them as the entire faction we play as. So,
to destroy.
Cena, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to our Scourge.
With some sort of a humanoid form, or them breaking the old god curse and returning as new half-elves, this could exactly be the new variation that could be coming. This new form could be related to Zalta turning the Nerubians, so it could also turn the Naga into this new humanoid-shaped form. Now, right next to this in Midnight, we have the very popular Forest Trolls, or the Amani. Now, a fraction of the Forest Trolls are actually already a part of the Horde. However, the Amani...
I actually talked about, like, if they had ever made a proper Classic Plus, I thought the Amani Trolls would have been a cool race to be playable for the Horde.
Like the biggest enemies of Quotalas throughout their history that have mainly been destroyed. However, new interview confirmed not just us getting a new Quotalas, but Quotalas being actually significantly larger, which means that they will definitely revamp the troll areas of Quotalas, which is a significant part of it. Now, you may be thinking, I mean, in no way the Amani would join the Blood Elves, but think about this. First of all, both of these races have suffered a ton. Both of them have been nearly wiped out in the very recent history. Now, the Horde and the Alliance are working together, the Void will invade in Qualtalas as was confirmed, meaning both of them are almost going to lose their homeland. So I could totally see this factor forcing them to actually unite. I could definitely see a portion of the elves or the Amani joining the Void, like betraying their people as they invade, but that could also bring a lot of them to like actually unite together, like a faction of the Amani joining the Blood Elves, which could definitely bring forest trolls to be playable. Best of all, the Amani could 100% work as an allied race. I mean, just a modification of the regular trolls. We already have the models.
They're
with
buffer,
the new hero
buffer
specs,
trolls.
we could be getting headhunters, maybe extroverters, and these guys are literally one of the oldest Warcraft concepts, even back from the 90s. So I think playable Amani is 100% realistic. Now, in regards to the third expansion, the Last Titan, it is super limited.
The Last Titan would probably be the one where we get Vrykul or something. That's what I think. If we did get Vrykul, that'd probably be when it is, because they're all like,
we have no idea what will be happening
Titan
in the first
facilities.
two.
There's
However,
Vrykul
it was
around
confirmed that we will be going to Northrend, and very likely this could include a huge Northrend revamp together with revamping all the native races. Now, in the War Within, we're getting this brand new ancient human errati group, which could lead us into a bunch more human lore. Remember, the Vrykul are the original
ancient humans.
They're very popular. A lot of people have requested them as a playable race across these past decade or so. This entire concept of them being a Titan race, the Titans coming, a part of the Vrykul turning into humans today, could lead the humans to reunite with their long-lost ancestors to fight against their creators that might have done bad things to them, and we could very likely be in for the playable Vrykuls. I know you may be thinking we already have the Kultirans, they're the larger humans, but the Vrykul are really just completely different. They're long established, they got unique customs, they got unique classes, they got unique lore. Most importantly, they're very popular within the community. We could even see like a Rune Master as a new class. So I think this could 100% be realistic. Like, this could be a new legit playable race in WoW The Last Titan. Now, of course, other than this, we could be getting a whole bunch of new, maybe brand new concepts or other races. Like, no one actually expected these castles got Earthen, large dwarves, for example. So
could get something out of nowhere.
Could also happen depending on how the storyline develops over the years. However, we will definitely be in my opinion, for at least 2 to 3 new races, new allied races to come in the World Soul Saga. Thank you for watching. Check out what exactly happened to Anduin, why is he so different by clicking on the screen, and also check out my video on ancient Greek colonies in Spain by clicking on the screen as well. See you next time.
Very interesting. So yeah, I mean, I don't feel like Doran fucking played us here. I think he's right. I think he's right, and I could imagine it happening exactly how he said. I could imagine, you know, with the elf midnight, you know, expansion happening. You know, which elves are more specifically tied to the void than any other elves besides void elves? I guess it would be the Naga, right? So yeah, I guess playable Naga in the midnight expansion, that makes sense. And then the Vrykul, of course, going back to Northrend, ancient human races, that kind of stuff. Yeah, sure, maybe we get him then. And who knows? Maybe we do get Tuskar before the end of Dragonflight. Just saying. Just saying, there's still 2 more in-between patches. You never know. You never know. But great video from Doran.